बॉलीवुड हीरो पंती रे. Get this.
हीरो 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 सपना दिखेला बंद करो.
क्या करूं यार, सबको आती नहीं, मेरी जाती नहीं.
मिर्ची मस्त मॉर्निंग, मैं हूँ अश्निल सिंह.
हाय, मैं हूँ काजल.
शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
6 AM to 9 AM.
मिर्ची FM, it's hot.
Landowners deny claims they have not received royalties from bauxite mine. Over 1,400 national flag designs submitted. And regional women parliamentarians pledge to address domestic violence. Good evening, I'm Akosita Tale and this is FBC News. Landowners in Nawailevu in Buavanualevu have refuted claims by Sodelpa MP Moses Mbulitavo that they are not receiving royalties from a bauxite mining operation on their land. Mbulitavo told Radio New Zealand International that a petition is being signed by people and it will be given to the government this month. Watisoni Rekanroka reports.
Aurum Exploration Fiji Limited has been mining bauxite at this site in Nawailevu for the past few years. 2 days ago, Opposition MP Moses Mbulitavo claimed the landowners have not received any royalties since they consented to the project in 2011. A trustee of the land-owning unit, Leki Maravanga, says Mbulitavo's claims are not true.
We received a letter from them in the last 2 weeks and we didn't support their claims because I know the company have been paying money to the lands department like we've discussed already.
Mbulitavo claimed the company has only paid $600,000 in royalties to the lands department and nothing has been paid to the landowners. He says the company still owes another $1.5 million and at least 300 signatures have been gathered for the petition so far. Minister for Lands and Mineral Resources, Merisaini Buniwanga, says her ministry is helping the land-owning unit to sort out administrative matters related to its trust fund.
Once that's sorted out, Land Bank will release their money to them. That's the Future Generation Fund.
Aurum Exploration Limited spokesperson Basilio Vanuada says the company has informed the landowners that it has already paid royalties to government.
Our payment to government regarding lease and royalties are already up to date to the last shipment, that is last month.
The company has produced almost 1 million tons of bauxite and is close to completing its mining operations in Nawailevu. The same company has just commenced mining at a second site in Lekutu. It was recently issued a lease for a third bauxite mining lease at Ndreketi on Vanualevu. Watisuni Rekanroka, FBC News.
1,430 individual entries have been received in the competition to design a new national flag. National Flag Committee Chair and Assistant Sports Minister Ilyas Ndelana says the public came to lodge their entries with the Department of Information all day and a large number was also received by email. Ndelana says they were hoping for a last-minute surge in entries, but the response was incredible. He says he is impressed with many designs forwarded. Ndelana says he is surprised that many of the designs are similar and this symbolizes the national unity that everyone can relate to, whether it is Masi, the dove of peace, the Mbua, or symbols depicting the sea. The Assistant Minister says the remaining members of the committee will now be chosen and they will begin the task of sifting through the entries. Pacific women parliamentarians have pledged to stand together in solidarity to fight family violence, a burning issue in the region. About 50 women parliamentarians from the Pacific, Australia and New Zealand have concluded 3 days of discussions on the issue at the Pacific Women's Parliamentary Forum held in Lamy. Eleanor Turangevu has more.
The outcome document for the Pacific Women's Parliamentary Forum contains an agenda for Pacific Island countries to work towards eliminating domestic or family violence as well as addressing gender equality in Parliament.
And they're putting together a manual for us, which is all about the needs that we see for our parliaments in regards to training of our parliamentarians and understanding what gender equality is about.
52 participants, 21 from Australia and New Zealand and 31 from the Pacific, have agreed to address family or domestic violence.
Violence against women is a no-no. In my country, and I suppose in all the countries of the Pacific, and we women parliamentarians, let us get behind and support this issue, this burning issue, to lower domestic violence in the Pacific.
These issues are very important issues like domestic violence, especially against women and children. We're not immune from these issues. There are very serious issues back there, and it's, we need to break the silence.
New Member of Parliament Vainga Tukuitonga believes domestic or family violence can only be solved from within the home.
When we ask the men why they do it, I think there will be a lot of answers. And when we ask women, there will be a lot of answers. But the respect should be there for both men and women.
2 out of 3 Pacific women have experienced some sort of physical or sexual abuse by their partner. The World Health Organization calls it an epidemic, while Australia calls it a national emergency. Fiji's Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama describes it as a regional shame. Eleanor Turangaiwiu, FBC News.
An investigation has begun into the circumstances surrounding the death of a 62-year-old woman in Navodinandi. Police say the woman ran inside a burning house to retrieve some of her belongings. NFA Chief Executive John O'Connor says when firefighters arrived at the scene shortly after receiving a call yesterday afternoon, the woman's body was outside the house. Police spokesperson Atunaisa Sokomuri says an investigation is ongoing into the cause of the fire, which caused $150,000 in damage to the house. Students of Mangondro District School in Ba have been urged by Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama to live a disciplined life to become better citizens. Bainimarama was a guest at the school yesterday. Ali Kimbia has more.
It was a double celebration for students, teachers and parents of Mangondro District School in Ba. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama officially opened a library and was chief guest at the annual Cadets Passing Out Parade. Bainimarama says it is an honor to see primary school students learning the art of discipline.
Some of you will eventually become cadets in our high school corps, and others may go on to have military careers. But all of you are benefiting from experiencing this training at an early age. And the lessons you are learning here will stand you in good stead for the rest of your lives, no matter what you do in the future.
Bainimarama also urged students to make use of the school library and the government's free education program. He says it is the best opportunity for students to be educated as their parents don't have to pay school fees and bus fares. Ali Kimbea, FBC News.
In the news ahead, Nandongo women's groups to benefit from new resource center.
Great words there from Lucky Dube and Baban. I hope you enjoyed that number. Different colors just for you. On Gold FM, only the classic hits. Louise with you on the Center Show. Well, thank you so much for the sweet company. This is Alana Miles, one of my favorites, and Black Velvet for you. Hi there. Join me on the Center Show every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the best sounds on Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
Welcome back to FBC News. Residents, especially women at Wainikoro and Andong in Maduwata, will be able to access a range of services at the new resource center. The center was opened by the Minister for Women, Rosie Akbar. Ellen Stoltz reports.
The new resource center is the first of its kind for the province of Maduwata. Built at a cost of $30,000 by the government, it will play an important role for 10 women groups in Wainikoro and the surrounding areas.
I'm confident that with this center and given the natural skills and talents of the women here, through business and entrepreneurial skills, the women will be able to make money and improve the lives of their families.
Akbar has reiterated the importance of getting the support of men in the community to address issues like domestic violence.
Tackling domestic violence is at the core of our efforts to improve the position and status of Fijian women generally. We wish to empower all Fijian women and give them more of a stake in our economy to enrich their lives and those of their families, to enable them to reach their full potential.
The new resource centre takes the total to 68 established by the government around the country. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Teachers have been reminded to not lose sight of the output they deliver. Addressing teachers at the closing of the Future Leaders Workshop in Lambasa, Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy said they need to work towards creating a knowledge-based society.
These leaders of educational institutions have been reminded to not dwell too much on the input, but focus on what outcome they can achieve.
Often people will talk about the inputs. How many hours I'm in the school, what qualifications I have, what work I did in the evening for school. These are all inputs. The output is the pass rate. The number of qualified, educated youths that you have churned out of the primary system, out of the secondary school system, out of the universities.
Dr. Mahendra Reddy also claims some head teachers and principals are led by their staff. As a result, they lose confidence and morale from the staff.
Head teachers and principals don't realize how much damage they can do to the school system by not living up to the expectation of the ministry. How slack leaders, slack head teachers, incompetent head teachers and incompetent principals can destroy the entire school. And therefore, you'll destroy the dreams of the children and parents.
Dr. Reddy says there is no need for school heads and principals to consult administrators on petty issues. He says there have been some leaders with unethical behavior and ulterior motives in the school system and have revolted upon questioning. The minister also urged school heads to not make decisions influenced by friends, religious bodies or any particular ethnic group. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
More than 40 budding entrepreneurs snapped up the opportunity to sell their products at a market day in Suva. The event, organized by Westpac Bank and Fiji National Provident Fund, aims to create markets for micro and small enterprises. Savera Tambua has more.
It is more than just the selling market day, provides mother of four Roberta Sword of Lebuka the opportunity to meet other business-minded people.
They really support us a lot. They offer a lot of support, and because of the markets we get to advertise our products to a wide variety of people. So not just people that we actually go and see, but other people that come in as well. And you get more business, you get offers, you get orders.
For Sophie Motokula, attracting customers is the most important thing on her mind. Motokula took a risk and tried something new. Her stall offered customers Mexican tacos.
I wanted to try something different, and I came up with tacos. I thought, okay, might as well just do something different. And I've got a really good response. Every time I come out, I'd like to also thank Westpac. And, when we have the day markets, I like to thank the Boulevard.
The market day is held regularly for the benefit of micro enterprises.
Most of these people can't provide like a fee to go in there. So it's to strengthen our proposition for being the bank of choice for women. This is one of our initiatives as well.
Some of the entrepreneurs get noticed and their products are bought wholesale and sold in department stores and pharmacies. Savera Tabua, FBC News.
Service providers and organizations can now use a toolkit to help to address violence against disabled women and girls. The toolkit is the first of its kind for Fiji and the Pacific. Alan Stolz has the story.
The Toolkit is a collection of stories and experiences of women and girls in the community who have gone through some of the violence and abuse and how they have handled the situation. It's more or less a piece of work that is aimed at helping organizations and the greater community on awareness of these issues faced by women and girls.
Toolkit is addressing greater awareness of women and girls with disability, the disability component, the discrimination against them, the human rights, but really how that can be addressed at a community. It's a community toolkit.
Australian Ambassador for Women and Girls Natasha Stodd-Desporja reiterated the importance of giving these women a voice and helping people understand the issues they face.
I really hope it will assist providers, service providers and support organisations to better address violence against women and girls with disabilities and make prevention of violence against all women, a high priority.
The toolkit took 2 years to compile and was a joint effort by UN Women, Pacific Disability Forum, along with the Australian government and other agencies that had made the launch a success. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
In an effort to raise funds, the Nambo Levu Methodist Circuit from Naitasiri is gearing up to revive the sport of Mbilimbili racing in Rewa after a 20-year lapse. The HMS No Comeback Nambo Levu Methodist Mbilimbili-a-thon will be held next Friday. The two-day event will see 6 Mbilimbilis race over a 5-kilometer course.
We'll be drifting down 5 kilometers along the Rewa River, leaving Nanganivata village on the 8th of May. At about 1200 hours, and we'll be sleepover at Wainra, Nambu settlement, a settlement just next to Kasabu village. And the next morning we'll continue our journey on the Saturday, the 9th, and ending our journey to Nosori town at Syria Park under the old Rewa Bridge.
The Singatoka Bilimbili races is very, very famous. It's on our tourist calendar, and we don't see any reason why this event on this side of the island shouldn't be on the tourist calendar as well.
4 companies have joined in to sponsor Bilibilis, including the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation. Coming up in sports, Captain Kolini Sau expects strong Finnish side in last 2 legs of World 7 Series. IOC President calls for more young people to participate in sports.
Ni sa bulu bina kana turun na kini marama ni bulu bina kana tolu bau kini mone lewa ni sa bulu bina kana mone en go talem no no ni wawe katalau en mataka nei dai
en vindelana mai nei tasiri
no bulu maleka go ni milote nei soro taboa
en lomo ni bonua mai sanganga
yo bulu ni go Samuel na no tanga ni wawe katalau en radio Fijuan nan domo evitina vonga ni vena mai no kini diwa en bi mataka moni tikina pagruka ni kai namaka.
Welcome back, this is FBC Sports. Vodafone Fiji Sevens captain Osea Kolini Sau is determined to see the team and the Glasgow Sevens on a high note next weekend. Kolini Sau and the team flew out of the country today for the World 7 Series legs in Glasgow and London. Josephine Navola has the details.
Rugby fans came out in numbers to wish their favorite players the best of luck for the remaining 2 tournaments this season. Captain Osea Kolini Sau says the next 2 weekends will determine their place at the Olympics.
I've been telling the players how important these 2 legs are, because on our way to these 2 legs we have a chance of winning the series for the 2nd time and qualifying for Rio. So I think all the boys are up for it.
Kolini Sau adds they have done well in previous tournaments, but they are not letting it get into their heads.
We see it as a very important leg, as it is a race for the series and a race for Rio. Like the manager has been telling us, we are focusing on a game at a time. So we are focusing first on Glasgow. After Glasgow, then we're going to look at the London tournament.
Kolini Sau is urging everyone to continue supporting the players. Fiji is pooled with hosts Scotland, Wales and Portugal in the Glasgow Sevens, which kicks off next Saturday. Josephine Navola, FBC Sports.
Pressure will be on the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team to win the final 2 tournaments of the World Sevens Series. Team manager Paul Ambio says the players know how crucial the matches over the next 2 weekends will be. He adds the support from the public will play a key role in their build-up to the Olympics.
I know that there's a lot of expectation from the public based on the last two legs, but we just ask for your support through prayers and a moral support to the team.
Fiji currently sits in second place in the World Series ladder with 125 points, behind leaders South Africa with 129 points. International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach says more young people should involve themselves into sports. Speaking at Oceania National Olympic Committee's General Assembly in Suva today, Bach says this will help them and the sport itself in many ways.
If we don't get the young people active, then we are preventing them from taking many opportunities. It's not only with regard to education, it is with regard to health. You know this situation here with the challenges in many of your societies with obesity and sedentary behavior. You know this. And we have to address this. We cannot ignore.
The ONOC General Assembly was held in Suva today. The Oceania National Olympic Committee today renewed its Memorandum of Understanding with the Pacific Island News Agency for another 2 years. The presidents of the two bodies signed the renewals today during the ONOC Regional Media Workshop in Suva. This partnership looks to continue the promotion of the work being done behind the scenes within the various national Olympic committees in the Pacific region.
For us, it's, I think, for the NOCs in particular, it's been a revelation for them to perhaps even meet their own media on a personal basis. But we hope that you will be the messenger that will be passing on the work that our people do to your own country.
And we would be going back, organizing ourselves in our various news mediums and to approach our NOCs. That is something that the reporters here have said. We learn from the Fiji experience, of course, and going back, we organize ourselves and how to work with our NOCs in promoting sports.
The 10-day ONOC PINA Regional Media Workshop ended today at the Grand Pacific Hotel in Suva. The Capital Force netball side has won the inaugural Digicel Punja Super League final, defeating Western Hits 49-43. Led by national reps Matila Maganindrola and Nina Dirikisuva, the Force had too much firepower to fend off a determined challenge from Hits. In other games, Satellite Divas beat Stallion Starlets 52-43 in the playoff for third spot, while G-Soccer Plato's Central Swifts 49-30 in the 5th and 6th place playoff. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama received a courtesy call from the International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach this morning. Welcoming the delegation, Bainimarama said Fiji look forward to working with the IOC to strengthen Fiji's sporting sector. He said they're committed to develop the sporting sector for Fiji's youth. Fiji's participation at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio, Brazil, in particular, the Rugby Sevens tournament that will feature for the first time, was also discussed. Fine weather apart from some cloudy periods prevailed over the country today. A trough of low pressure remains slow moving over Rotuma and extends eastwards over Wallis and Samoa. A broad east to southeast wind flow prevails over most southwest Pacific countries. Nandi and Lautoka recorded the highest temperatures at 31 degrees, while the capital city was slightly cooler at 28 degrees. The forecast to midnight tomorrow for the Fiji group, fine apart from brief showers of the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. The outlook for Monday, fine apart from brief showers of the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Strong southeast winds over most places, heavy southerly swells developing. And recapping our top stories, landowners in Nawailevu in Buavanolevu have denied claims by Sodelpa MP Moses Mbulitavo that they are not receiving royalties from a bauxite mining operation on their land. 1,430 individual entries have been received in the competition to design a new national flag. and an investigation has begun into the circumstances surrounding the death of a 62-year-old woman in Navodi Nandi. Now to the poll question, should there be more organized activities for students during the school holiday? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizensize@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. That's the news for tonight. See you again tomorrow. Good night.